What's going on, guys? Super Savage 789 here, bringing you guys a video. And today we're doing What If Goku went to Beerus' planet after Namek, part 3. In the last part, we covered both the android and Buu saga and how drastic the changes were. To list off a few, everyone and their mother got God Ki, with every main Saiyan having Super Saiyan God at bare minimum. We left off with Gohan leaving with the Kais, so we'll pick up from there. Gohan would begin training with the Supreme Kai, where he'd become a Kai in training for the time being. This would grant him techniques like healing and the Kai, useful techniques for him to continue his studies. It makes commuting to and from Earth much easier, so he doesn't have to miss out on any classes or family time. Gohan would be quick to draw the Z-Sword of his immense power, and begins to train with the blade. I doubt Gohan would break the blade though, as he doesn't have to slice things like Kachin, and can merely focus on getting his swordsman skills honed. On Earth, Goku would welcome son Buu into his family. While Chi-Chi would be reluctant about it, seeing how Buu makes her son and husband happy brings her such delight that she can't help but allow him to stay. Buu does eat a lot, meaning the Sun family require more money, but here Goku doesn't have to work. With Majin Buu's magic, the Sun family get their revenue from selling all kinds of sweet treats, giving them even more money than originally. This will allow Goku to train with Buu a lot more. Due to the immense potential of Buu, as well as his punching bag nature, Goku would find training with Buu quite useful in furthering his own skills. On the flip side, training with Goku would give Buu God Ki and would begin to awaken the immense God Ki of the Grand Kai that was dormant in this half. This will come into play much later. As for everything other than what I mentioned, nothing would really change. Everyone keeps up their usual routine of training and regular leisure, with the peace on Earth being relatively nice for a change. About 4 years pass with this usual routine. Of course, the long-awaited time has arrived and Beerus awakens from his slumber. He steps out from his sleeping quarters and sees Whis alongside Vegeta stood awaiting him. Beerus takes a glance at Vegeta and thinks nothing of him, asking Whis where Goku is. Whis tells him that he is on Earth, and so Beerus requests to head there for his long-awaited battle. Before Whis can agree though, Vegeta shouts wait. He's been training for much longer than Goku has, and much more intensely at that. He'll be a way better challenge than that low-class scum. While Beerus doesn't believe that, he decides he'll humour the prince, especially after learning that Vegeta is going for his occupation. Let's discuss Vegeta's strength at the moment. I'll say that his power would be slightly above what it is when he fights Beerus after the Black Arc. This is due to there not being as many threats to grow off of, as well as since Vegeta hasn't spent all his time just training his strength, so this is a relatively fair place to put him. Vegeta would start off in base, but would be quick to enter Super Saiyan. Of course, Beerus isn't impressed, evading their techniques as if it's nothing. Getting more bored by the second, Beerus demands Vegeta hurry up, and he obliges, entering the Super Saiyan God form. Since Beerus believes this is the pinnacle, he'd be trying to see what Vegeta achieved through refining it. While it's leagues above what Goku was when initially using it, it doesn't give him much of a challenge. As he evades an attack from Vegeta, Vegeta explodes in a blue glow and lands a hard, off-guard punch onto Beerus. Beerus looks and sees Vegeta, now in Super Saiyan Blue, impressed by this new form. He would be suppressing himself to a level where he can actually have some fun, and be having a good time trading blows with the Saiyan. Of course, Vegeta can't remain at peak for long. Beerus will be wearing him down, leaving Vegeta's pride more and more damaged. He's been training for over a decade, and yet he's still nothing but an ant to a god. How can this happen to the Prince of all Saiyans? He lets out a loud scream, his pride causing an ascension to new heights. An aura surrounds him, different to the one that first emerged in the imperfect blue form. His hair had become darker as he stands there, now in blue evolution. Beerus gets a childlike grin over his face as Vegeta does his iconic something, telling Beerus that he should take a look at the man who will be taking his job. Vegeta rushes at Beerus, landing blow after blow into the cat god. He'd be unsuppressing himself more and more, having fun during this battle with the prince. This is a really fun challenge for Beerus, as he has to rise to the occasion. Eventually, Vegeta would go to finish this fight with a massive Gamma Burst flash. He unleashes at Beerus, who would raise up his hand, using a Hakai. Vegeta is in shock, as his strongest technique merely vanishes. Beerus then appears and lands a hard gut punch onto Vegeta, winding him. Beerus would then let out an onslaught of attacks onto the prince, knocking him into a crater in base, badly damaged. The cat would still have a wide grin over his face, making Whis delighted, asking if Beerus had fun. You know, Whis, that's the most fun I've had in a long time. If the prince can get this strong, then that means Goku will be an even better challenge. Whis and Beerus would leave for Earth after this, leaving Vegeta in the dirt. His pride would be broken as he realizes that all he was good for was a warm-up. Even after that new form, he was merely second best in Beerus' eyes. He loses consciousness soon after. On Earth, Whis and Beerus arrive at Bulma's birthday party, with Bulma running over, glad that Whis can make it. She invites him over, where Beerus goes to find Goku. Upon finding him and explaining the situation, Goku faceplants, saying he merely forgot. Beerus does decide to give him the benefit of the doubt though, wanting to enjoy the party first. During the party, Goku would ask Whis where Vegeta is, as he wants to have a fight with him. Whis explains what happened on Beerus' planet, leaving Goku dumbfounded, nervous that he may not be a challenge Beerus figured he would be. Of course, Boo would still cause Beerus to flip out, leading to everyone panicking. Boo puts up a much better fight, but of course, Beerus is quick to take the Jin down. Gohan will quickly power up to Super Saiyan and rushes at Beerus, wielding the Z-Sword, swinging with quick but precise slashes. Beerus merely dances around these sword slashes, flicking the Z-Sword in half like it was a pencil. Going for broke, Gohan decides to power up to Super Saiyan God. He would begin using his training he got from the Kais to try and get the best out of Beerus, but this is of course a fever dream. Seeing his brother in trouble, Goten would also transform into the God form and rushes at Beerus. The two brothers begin to fight together, leaving Beerus in both confusion and annoyance. How did a mere child get this form? Was it more hyped up than it's actually worth? Piccolo goes over to Goku and asks about what to do. Believing that Vegeta is the only way, Goku tells Piccolo they may have to use Shenron to teleport the prince to Earth. Elder Kai chimes in, stating how Beerus is always a difficult one, leaving everyone in confusion about who this man is. Elder Kai explains who he is and how he was in the sword. Goku would ask Elder Kai if he can do that teleportation technique the Kais know, and he says yes. So Goku asks him to go to Beerus' planet and get Vegeta. Elder Kai explains how he's never actually been there, so he'll need some guidance. Goku would go with Elder Kai to go to the planet, telling everyone they need to stall. So they'd head away to begin searching for said planet. Gohan and Goten continue to battle, however it's quite evident they're losing. Piccolo tells everyone that they need to fight. He has an idea. Krillin, Tenshinhan, Yamcha, and 18 all rush at Beerus, and while they don't do much, the sheer numbers do help hold off Beerus. Piccolo would be looking down as he stands up, telepathically telling everyone to stand back. Beerus uses his telepathy with his massive ears and looks at Piccolo, calling the Namekian cocky. He does decide to humor him and waiting for him to use the technique he had prepared. Piccolo, however, just stands there, not moving. Becoming enraged, Beerus rushes at Piccolo and punches him in the chest. Upon impact, he merely knocks Piccolo's cape away, his turban landing on Beerus' hand. He looks confused as he destroys the turban, turning around to see Piccolo stood there, not facing him. An elegant blue glow begins to surround the Namekian, as Piccolo turns around, revealing his grey eyes. He is now an Ultra Instinct Omen. Beerus won't realize this at first, but would notice the moment fighting starts. He would be impressed at a mortal's ability to learn this technique, and so he begins enjoying himself, fighting an opponent who has a technique above that of the gods. One of the main drawbacks of Omen is the stamina drain, which Piccolo would definitely have. Due to his Namekian physiology, however, this drain would be much slower, meaning he can maintain Omen a lot longer than Goku could theoretically. Goku would return to Earth with Elder Kai and the damaged Vegeta, and everyone is given a sensu beam. Vegeta is briefed on the situation where they ask for his help. While Vegeta doesn't want to help them, he has to prove to Beerus he isn't Kakarot's second fiddle. He tells Goku not to slow him down, making Goku grin, telling him he won't dream of it. Gohan and Goten approach their father and explain that they want to help. They both have Super Saiyan God, and he trained them. They can fight. Goku would agree, and they all get prepared. As Piccolo and Beerus are fighting, Piccolo would fall out the form of Omen. He doesn't have mastery over it, he can barely use it at will, and not only does it take intense concentration, he can't even choose when to deactivate it. So Beerus one-shots Piccolo, knocking him out and throwing his unconscious body at the feet of the four Saiyans. He would then slowly descend and watches as the two half-breeds become gods and the two full-bloods become blue. The four godly Saiyans charge at Beerus and begin an epic battle of scales we've never even seen. Vegeta would of course use his blue evolution, trying to take control of the fight as well as to demonstrate to Goku who's number one. With the Zenkai he already received, he'd be even stronger than prior, putting on an even better show. It makes Goku quite impressed. Realizing he needs more power, Goku lets out all his power, using the technique very similar to Kaioken they uses against Jiren. He rushes in and begins fighting on par with Vegeta, leaving Beerus working up a sweat. They get a fair few good punches on Beerus, despite the Cat God actually trying. Gohan and Goten will both hang back and fire in blasts whenever necessary. Using the Kai, Gohan will be able to create a warp Kamehameha and hits Beerus with it, flinging him quite far out into space. It's all silent for a moment, as Goten asks if they won. Gohan tells his brother that it's not over yet and they should remain on guard. They would all notice a strange orange glow, like another sun, begin to grow. It begins bigger and bigger until it becomes bigger than even the moon. Realizing this is Beerus' attack, the four would all begin to panic. Even Vegeta panics, knowing this attack would kill him along with the Earth. Gohan states that he can't teleport away, but Vegeta shuts it down. He wouldn't get there in time, the ball would merely incinerate him. As they begin to give up hope, they watch as Goku begins charging his iconic technique. The Kamehameha impacts with the supernova, pushing back the blue beam. Goku will try harder and harder, pushing more ki into it, but he's only delaying the inevitable. Then, Gohan and Goten also fire a Kamehameha, combining the three beams, making them bigger as they begin slowing down the supernova even more. Vegeta realizes he needs the help and fires his own Gamma Burst Flash. Despite these four beams, it's still not enough. The ball of heat begins getting closer and closer despite how hard they try. As their wills begin to falter and they begin to accept defeat, they hear a shout of Makan Kosa Po. Piccolo arrives, and he's not alone. Krillin, Yamcha, Tenshinhan, 18, and even Fat Boo all there firing their own blasts. With all this power combining into one beam, everyone lets out one final push and engulfs the supernova as well as Beerus. He lets out a loud shout of crap as he is consumed in the beam. Everyone will begin celebrating, exhausted at the display of power. Of course, it doesn't kill Beerus as he lands next to everyone, congratulating them on a good fight. He hasn't felt that alive in centuries. Whis shows up, and Beerus asks him to heal them all, which he does. As they prepare to leave, Whis would request Piccolo come with them. He has Ultra Instinct Omen, to an imperfect degree. He'd like to help Piccolo achieve the form perfectly. That way, Whis could potentially even teach Beerus the form, if he can learn to properly teach it. So Piccolo and Vegeta would leave with Beerus and Whis, which is where we're going to leave off part 3. If you enjoyed, why not hit the like button? It really does help out the channel, and of course, the subscribe button's always there. If you're liking this series so far, just let me know in the comment section, and let me know your predictions for next time. As always, guys, have a good one, and bye.